Hey guys, welcome back to Casita's virtual kitchen. I hope we're all keeping well. We're doing another tapas here for you today, a crowd pleaser, one of our favourite dishes, Patatas Bravas. So Patatas Bravas is Spain's most popular potato dish. Little fried bits of potato served with a rich, spicy tomato sauce. So I've got loads of ingredients down the front here. First thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to get my onions on to make the sauce, and then I'll go through all the other ingredients with you. So we've got a pan here, nice and hot as you can see. A little bit of oil in to start, and then we're going to go in. Just got some diced white onion here. That's going to be the base of our sauce. Okay. Give that a stir. So we just want to sweat these. We don't want too much colour on them. We're just going to want to sweat them. So to help break the onions down, a little bit of salt, okay, in at the beginning. And then also down the front here, I've got a little bit of garlic with some olive oil. So we're going to go in with that as well. Get us started. So while those onions are sweating down, I'm just going to run through everything else we've got here. So like I said, Patatas Bravas is a fried potatoes with a tomato sauce. So we've got our potatoes down the front here. Now they have already been blanched. So blanched basically just means they've already been cooked. I blanched them in some hot oil. Now the oil is around 130 degrees. So the idea with them is to blanch them until they're soft without actually colouring the potato too much. So they've already ready, and they're ready for the second fry. For the potatoes, when we're going to sort of come to roasting them, we've got the garlic here, we've got some fresh chilli, we have some spring onions and some fresh herbs. That's going to garnish the potatoes. And then for the Bravas sauce, so Bravas basically means sauce of the brave. So they used to give this sauce to the soldiers in the war. It used to be quite spicy. It used to be thought to give them, brave and courage. So got some smoked paprika. This is a sweet smoke, so it's not spicy, this one. We're going to get the spice from the chili. And we've got some cumin, brown cumin. And then for the sauce, I've got some tinned tomatoes down here. So these are just standard tinned tomatoes. Some red wine, which we're going to add in a second. And then we're going to go in with some more of the fresh herbs. So these onions have been sweating down now for 1 to 2 minutes. So they're lovely. I'm going to go in with a bit of fresh chilli. So just thinly sliced chilli. We're going to get this in at the beginning, and then we're going to save the rest of the chilli for the actual potatoes. So nice and thin into the pan. I'm going to sweat them off. I'm going to add a little bit of butter at the front. And then I'm going to get in our spices. Okay, so we're just going to toast the spices off a little bit. So first we're going to go in with our cumin. We can always add a little bit more at the end. So, get a little bit at the beginning and see what the taste is like at the end. And then the smoked paprika. So we're in with those. Now we're going to just toast them off for 30 seconds. It's always quite important to toast your spices. You don't really want a raw spice taste in there. So we're just cooking that out, and then we're going to go in with a little bit of red wine. And then we're going to go in with our tomatoes. Okay, so red wine, any old red. About 100 ml of red wine, and then we're going to cook that down. So we're just going to cook that right down, and then we're going to go in with our tinned tomatoes. So the oil for the potatoes now we need to heat up, okay? So we're just basically heating that up to a higher temperature, and then we're going to roast our potatoes. So into the tomato sauce now, the red wine is reduced, and we're just going to go in with our tinned tomatoes. So in there, and then we're going to start to slowly reduce the tomatoes down. And they should have a nice rich flavour from the red wine and the chilli and all the spices that we've roasted off. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to get our fresh vegetables, our fresh herbs ready for the sauce to finish, and then obviously for the potatoes as well. So again, as previous dishes, everything gets sliced quite thinly. So spring onions on an angle, nice and thin. We'll save all these herbs for the very end to get the freshest of flavours. So nice and thin with the spring onions. In the restaurant we serve a little bit of garlic aioli with our Patatas Bravas, so it's more of a bravioli. If you're not a fan of that, then obviously you can quite happily leave that off, but we like it. We think it gives another dimension. So there's our spring onions nicely chopped. I'm just going to chop the rest of this chilli. Again, nice and fine. Some nice flat leaf parsley. So obviously we don't need all that. I'm just going to chop some. And then finally some fresh basil to chop after this. So nice and fine with your herbs. Again, it's such an easy dish to do at home. It's great to have as part of a dinner party, or as a side dish. You know, if you didn't want to have full tapas but you wanted to cook like a nice steak, this will go really well with that. So tomato sauce now, we're just going to start to reduce that down. You want to reduce it a bit slower. Then obviously the slower you reduce it, it retains more of the sweetness of the tomatoes. But obviously for the purpose of this, we're just going to bring it down a little bit quicker than we would. So our potatoes, we're just going to check the oil now. Fun. So obviously it looks quite hot. We're just going to drop one in and we're going to check it. So as per the popcorn, we're going to use the spoon, just drop one in. Obviously that can happen, so be very careful. The spoon was a little bit wet, so we'll just obviously be really careful there. We'll dry the spoon off. So this looks great. We're going to go in and we're going to fry these potatoes now. And we're going to fry them until they go nice and golden. You might do them in a couple of batches just so we don't. So you can see they've gone golden really quickly, really nice. They are going to get cooked almost again when we add all our herbs with them. So we're just going to spoon all them out. Nice and easy. You notice I've got a bit of kitchen paper. That's just to soak up some of the extra grease that will come off the potatoes. Okay, so we're going to just wait for a few seconds to do the rest. Just keep an eye on this tomato sauce. What's a cooking video without a bit of excitement, without a bit of oil going everywhere? Right, so I'm going to go in with the rest of some more potatoes now. So this is literally just one big baking potato. We use baking potatoes for this because they're quite nice, they fry up really nicely, get a nice colour. You could use other potatoes if you wanted to, but that's what we use. So they're crisping up really nice and quickly in here now. So we're just going to spoon these out again. Like I say, we are going to cook them almost that third time with all the herbs, with all the garlic and the aromats. So we're going to get these ones out and then we're just going to do the last few. It's quite a healthy portion, quite like it, quite like a big portion of potatoes. And obviously it's my dinner tonight, so I've gone a little bit more than the one. So I'm just going to put these last few in. Just going to get rid of that. Just keeping an eye on this tomato sauce, keep stirring. You don't want to burn the tomatoes on the bottom, so we just keep stirring that. We're going to have a little taste of that in a second and see if we need to add any more flavours to it. Just bring that down a little bit. Last few potatoes into the oil. And we can get rid of that plate at the front. Great, so we're just going to cook those last few. A little white. So if you are sort of deep frying at home using a pan, just be careful. Like you notice, it can go a little bit wrong even for the professionals. So have a nice dry spoon. The oil's probably a little bit hot here. It's tough to sort of kind of keep control of the temperature of the oil, much more than it is obviously with a fryer. But we got there. Right, so these last few potatoes right now, they're lovely, they're nice and crispy, they've got a nice colour on. So we're just going to really carefully move this hot oil away. I'm just going to have a little quick wipe here. And then as well. Great, so now our sauce, we're going to leave that, and then what we're going to do, here's one I prepared earlier, another pan. We're going to get this on, and then we're going to get everything ready for our potatoes. So to start this, you want it on sort of a medium-high heat. We're going to go in with the garlic to start. So this is just some sliced garlic, a bit of olive oil, and we'll start with that, okay? So nice and generous, a bit of the oil too. We're going to go in with a bit of butter. We're going to go in with the chilli. So the idea with this is what we want to accomplish here. So we want to roast all the garlic, we want to roast all the chilli, we want to get all the flavour out of it. So while that's happening, we're just going to pay a bit more attention to the sauce. So I'm going to have a little taste of this now, see where we are with it, see what else we might need to add to it. Okay, so the chilli is actually giving it quite a nice kick, it must be quite strong. And again, as mentioned in previous videos, just taste your chilies first. So usually the littler ones are the stronger ones, so just bear that in mind. So these have got quite a kick to it, which is absolutely fine. I like a bit of spice. We need a bit more salt, we need a bit more of the dried stuff, so I'm going to get that in now, just to give it a chance to cook out. A bit more cumin. A bit more paprika. Cook that out for another minute or two. Okay, so our garlic is doing what we want it to do. The butter is going to help it kind of colour quite evenly. It's going to get a nice even crisp all the way around it. And when we get the desired colour with the garlic, that's when we're going to put our potatoes in. So obviously in a restaurant it's much easier, we have our sauce ready and it's quite a quick dish. We can just fry our potatoes off and we can and just toss it in our pan that we've got already ready. But obviously for this it's taken a little bit longer, but so we'll have another little taste of this now. Really important just to keep tasting the sauce now. Okay, lovely. So what you can do with this, if it goes a little bit bitter sometimes with the tomatoes, got a little bit of fresh honey. So a little squeeze of honey. And that'll just give it a nice sort of sweetness towards the end. But we're nearly there, so you have a little look at the garlic now. The garlic is really starting to sort of go that golden brown. It's not looking black, but it's golden and it's starting to roast nicely. So that's almost ready for the potatoes. So we're going to go in with our potatoes. Like I said, they're already cooked, they're already coloured up nicely. So all we're doing with the potatoes now is we're just going to crisp them up that last little bit more, and we're just going to get a real nice sort of flavour to them. So they're in. Salt, be quite generous. The salt can fall off, so be quite generous. We're just going to toss it. We're just going to let all the oils and all the garlic and the chilli cook into the potatoes for around a minute, just to get all the flavours on the potato. Sauce is very much nearly there. I'm going to put a little bit of honey in it, like I mentioned. If you are cooking this up alongside our chorizo red wine and you're not a vegetarian, a little bit of the red wine cooking sauce that you cook with your honey and your chorizo down, if you want to add it to the tomato sauce, makes it really nice, gives it a nice taste. But obviously if you are vegetarian, that's not what you want to do. So we're nearly there with this. We're just going to keep tossing that until the sauce is ready, and then we're going to garnish it up. So this is kind of what I believe takes our La Casita's Patatas Bravas to the next level. So we've all had them in Spain, we've all had them where they've just basically been almost fried chips with a pretty average tomato sauce on top. So we've spent a lot of time with our potatoes to get garlic and chilli flavour into them, and then we're going to lift it all with our fresh herbs at the end. You'll really see those colours. And then the tomato sauce, we've added the red wine, we've cooked out the spices, we've added the chilli, a little bit of honey. It's got a nice deep dark red colour to it, and then again we're going to freshen it all up with the herbs. So I'm happy with these potatoes. Last step with these is in with the greens, okay? So quite generous, in with the greens. So that's your spring onions, and that's your parsley. And then we're going to put in about half the basil. You can give that a toss. And you can just see the colour, really sort of fresh. It's gone from being a bit dark and a bit dull with all them potatoes, just to being really fresh and really light. So that's done now. We don't want to cook them herbs because we don't want to make them brown or discolour them. So we're just going to bob that over there, turn that one off, and we're just going to finish this sauce now. So we're nearly there with the sauce. One last taste. It's probably then going to be ready for all the nice fresh herbs to finish that. Lovely. So a little bit spicy, a little bit smoky, a nice red wine taste, and a nice sweetness from the tomato. It's the same as the bravas, in with our greens, so our parsley, our spring onions, and our basil. This is going to make the spicy sauce still going to be spicy, but it's going to make it nice and fresh with loads of fresh herbs to finish. Okay, and then we're just going to turn it off, and then what we're going to do is we're going to plate up. So I've got our bravas dish at the front here. Obviously, if you're having a bigger portion, bigger dish, not a problem. Just give it a last toss, and then we're going to in the dish. So everything goes in, all that lovely roasted garlic, all that lovely roasted chilli, fresh herbs. Throw a little bit on the side. Like I say, you can be as generous as you want. We'll fill the dish, make it nice. And we're going to go in with the tomato sauce. So generous helping of sauce along the top. And then to finish, a little bit of garlic aioli. So like I said, this is optional if you want to use it, or if not, we're going to use it for today. Forgive the oversized kill bottle, but basically just some nice little dots in and around. Just be a nice little surprise when you get a little one of them. We'll probably just chop a little bit of a la 1980s, a little bit of fresh parsley, just to give it a bit of green on the top. Usually we just do a bit of a couple of pea shoots, but a little bit of green for the top. And that's it, that's our patatas ravioli from Casita's virtual kitchen. Dead easy, you can do it at home, careful of the oil. And thank you again for watching. If you've enjoyed what you've seen, please comment below, send any of your efforts into us, we'd love to see them. And if you've enjoyed, please subscribe to the channel for more future videos. Thank you very much and take care, bye bye.